It's the kind of story that sends a chill down your spine. A family home in a quiet English town, a daughter who lived a lie, and the devastating truth hidden behind closed doors. The world was left in shock when harrowing footage revealed the moment Virginia McCullough, a 36-year-old woman, confessed to unaliving her own parents and concealing their bodies in the most horrific ways. But how did it all go so unnoticed for 4 years? And what led her to commit such an unimaginable crime? Stay with us as we unravel this deeply disturbing case that will leave you questioning the darkness that sometimes hides behind the most familiar faces. In 2023, after years of deception and lies, the truth about Virginia McCullough finally came to light. At the age of 36, McCullough was arrested and charged for the unaliving of her parents, John and Lois McCullough, who were 71 and 70 at the time of their deaths. The grisly crime took place in Chelmsford, England, and would shock not only the local community but also the entire country. For 4 long years, Virginia hid the dark secret of her parents' demise from the world. She told friends, family members, and neighbors that John and Lois were either on long trips or too ill to be seen. Behind this web of deceit, she was quietly draining her parents' bank accounts, spending a staggering £150,000 of their money while their lifeless bodies remained hidden within the walls of their own home. But where exactly were John and Lois? How did McCullough manage to keep their bodies concealed for so long without anyone growing suspicious? As investigators dug deeper into the McCullough home, they made 2 deeply disturbing discoveries. Virginia had hidden her father's body in what can only be described as a makeshift tomb, cleverly disguised as a bed. It's chilling to think that for years, visitors to the home may have walked past that very bed, never realizing the horrific truth that lay beneath. As if that wasn't enough to turn stomachs, Virginia had also concealed her mother's remains in an upstairs wardrobe. To think that someone could live in a house where their parents' bodies were hidden so callously is a level of coldness that is almost incomprehensible. How does a daughter reach the point where she not only takes the lives of her parents, but also shows such disregard for their remains? What could have driven Virginia to such a heartless and calculated crime? Was it greed, desperation, or something far darker lurking in her mind? In court, McCullough finally confessed to the murders, and the footage of that moment is as haunting as the crime itself. Her emotionless admission shocked everyone who saw it. A daughter, whose parents had raised her, provided for her, and trusted her, had betrayed them in the most horrific way possible. She not only ended their lives but continued to live in the house for years, spinning lies and covering her tracks without any visible remorse. The trial revealed that Virginia had been living off her parents' money in the years following their deaths. Friends and family, who had initially believed her stories of her parents being away or unwell, were left reeling when they found out the truth. How could someone they had known and trusted be capable of such deceit? In the end, justice was served, but it can never undo the horror that unfolded in that Chelmsford home. Virginia McCullough was convicted of the murders of John and Lois and sentenced to life in prison, with a minimum term of 36 years. It's a sentence that reflects the gravity of her actions, but for the family and friends of John and Lois, no amount of time will ever heal the wounds left behind by this tragedy. As we look back on this haunting case, we're left to wonder, what could have been done to stop it? Could someone have seen the signs, or was McCullough's manipulation simply too good for anyone to suspect? If this story has left you shaken, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into cases that shock the world. This tragedy reminds us of the fragility of trust and the unthinkable darkness that can sometimes hide behind closed doors.